All right, welcome everyone to the Wakefield Youth Council Subcommittee meeting for a cleanup on Veterans Day. It is now 3:04 and I'm starting this meeting. I'm going to take attendance. You can just say yes if you're here. Bella Schwartzberg.
Yes.
Madeline Naper.
Yes.
Paige McGibbon.
Yes.
And Nicholas Walczewski.
Yes.
Right. So, according to the posted agenda, we are here to discuss the cleanup that you proposed, that the Youth Council proposed in last week's meeting. So is there someone that would like to take over chairing this meeting, or do you want me to chair it? Okay, the silence, I'll definitely facilitate this meeting today because this is the first time we're doing a cleanup. So I did want to thank again Nick for bringing this up as the liaison to the Recreation Department, wanting to recognize the reason behind some of the places like the basketball courts could potentially be closed if people aren't respecting the spaces that the town provides, and to provide an opportunity to recognize the role youth should take in the community to help clean up. Is that correct? Is that why we want to organize this? Okay. So, so one of the things that came up in the meeting last week was doing something on Veterans Day, which is, does anyone have the date of Veterans Day?
It's the 11th.
Okay, so Thursday.
We got 10 days.
November 11th. Okay. So what I did prior to this meeting was I reached out to our veteran service agent, Dave forgetting his last name, but David, who's very lovely and very helpful. I talked to him about the possibility of the Youth Council doing a cleanup on Veterans Day, and he was very excited about the idea. He said that there's a ceremony and program at the Galvin Middle School at 11 a.m. and it's going to last about an hour. After that, there's nothing really planned. So he said he would welcome the Youth Council to do anything for youth getting involved in doing service to the community. So he was very excited about it. He said, oh, we should definitely put it in paper and everything. So we have the blessing from the Veterans Service Officer to do something in the afternoon of Veterans Day. So, and I asked him, I said, are there any spots in particular that the veteran, you know, in relation to Veterans Day that you think that could use a cleanup? I was thinking of some of the memorials. He said, well, the cemeteries are already taken care of with the cemetery crew, but he did say that Veterans Park, does anyone know what Veterans Park is? Nick?
That's the softball field right in by the lake, right?
Yeah, so where the farmers market is, and he said he's been there a few times, and it's really, you know, with the trash is overflowing, parking lot's a mess, and that some of that area. He said, you know, cleaning up Veterans Park would be a great spot. So I figured we could add that to the list of places. So is everyone in agreement that the afternoon of Thursday, November 11th works for this cleanup? All right. What do you want to talk about next? Locations or time? Nick or Madeline?
I think we should just like set in stone. I think we should pick out a number of locations and what those are, just because that's kind of like a basis, so we just know how to plan after that.
Okay. And how many locations are you all thinking about?
Maybe like 3 or 4 around the town. That
Yeah,
way
that's
it's
what I
like
was
there's
thinking.
not too many, so it's not like there's like a couple of people at each, it's more people working on each area.
Okay, so 3 or 4, okay. So would we say that the basketball courts, that whole area, and maybe the turf fields around Galvin could be one of the locations? Because it's General Galvin, and that's the thing that prompted Nick to kind of bring this up to begin with. That's area number 1. So Galvin courts and fields. Okay. Is it safe to say that we honor the request to do Vets Field on Veterans Day? All right, so that's number 2, Vets Field. Okay, so maybe one other spot or maybe 2. Any thoughts, Bella, Paige?
Didn't we talk about like the lake, either the top or the bottom of the lake? I don't know if it has a specific like significance to Veterans Day, but I think that it's still like a community spot that should be cleaned up.
Right. I mean, you could do both, or you could just do, I think there was a cleanup at the bottom of the lake this weekend, but I mean, it's so heavily trafficked.
Well, if we're doing the lake, we should probably do it because we're doing Vetsfield. That's like the bottom of the lake.
Yep, that's that side of the lake. So it's kind of a different area. So you could do the other, because then all these locations are kind of walkable to young people. So if we did want to do something afterwards, so say like the library, at the steps of the library or something afterwards, everyone could meet up there. Or maybe you don't think people are going to want to go somewhere after their specific spots.
Could we do like the Wakefield Commons?
The Wakefield Commons, Paige is saying, so that's that bottom part of the lake. So that's our third location. I think that's good. So lower and upper common. Okay. Okay, so that's good. So that's 3 locations. So we've got the Galvin Courts and Fields, Vets Field, and Lower and Upper Common. Does that sound good? Okay. So, all right. So Thursday, November 11th, we know the date, we know where. Now we want to know what. Bella?
I also want to add that we should definitely think about where we might get some resources like trash bags or like gloves or something to actually like clean up. Like if it's going to be a bring your own bags type of situation, or if we could like get donations from whoever. I know you had mentioned like a group of people were willing to pay for like certain aspects of it. So I don't know if that's a question we want to think about.
Okay, so trash bags and gloves. I could probably just ask our DPW department, or if one of you wants to do that. What would you want me to just ask in the interest of time to get gloves and trash bags donated for the cleanup? Okay, I'll put in a request to DPW for that.
We could also, and this is more of a time thing, we could do it kind of like later in the day, because I know personally my family tends to go do something during those days. So like, but it is getting darker earlier. So like we have to keep that in mind. But like sometime like after lunch, so if people want to either go to that memorial or do something else during the day, they can. And I don't think it'll be like an all day thing either. Like people can go help clean up the area and then like do something else.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so making sure it's after lunch, but before it gets dark. And the daylight savings is this weekend, so it'll start to get dark around 4:30 next week. So what do you think is a good time? Like 1, 2, 3?
I know a lot of like students perform in the Veterans Assembly at the Galvin.
Yeah, that's a good point, Paige. So in there, I know you have to dress up for that. So you would want to give them time to go home and eat lunch and change and things like that. So it's a really good point. Any other thoughts on time?
I feel like 1:30, like 2 around then is good because it's along with the darkness, like it's gonna get colder. So if it's like closer to noon, I feel like we have a better chance of staying warm, and like you don't want to be in too many layers when you're picking up trash because you do get hot easily, especially if you're like doing stuff. So I think that's another thing that we have to keep in mind.
It's a good point. So do you want, oh, Nick,
The Galvin thing's at 11 and it's going to take like 1 hour-ish. So that would end at noon, but you probably give them like 30 minutes of slack because it could probably go longer. So if you do it at like 1 or 1:30, that should probably makes the most sense.
Plus lunch. People are probably gonna go home and have lunch first.
okay.
Unless
so
we want to do like pizza or something.
Okay, so 1:30 or 2 afterward, what do people think? I think 2 gives, and if people aren't going to the Veterans Day ceremony and they're doing something else, 2 gives them enough time to come back.
Yeah, 1:30 might be a little early because sometimes it goes longer.
Yeah. Okay, so does everyone agree that 2 would be a good time? Okay, so just so we know, it's Thursday, November 11th at 2 p.m. in the 3 areas that we're going to clean. And we already discussed that Catherine's going to reach out and get the trash bags and gloves to see if DPW can support that. So I know at the meeting, we talked about pairing and partnering with the different groups, leadership groups around like the Tri-Am and the National Honor Society and the Youth Action Team and the environmental. Is there an environmental club at the high school?
There's a garden club that me and Bella are the co-leaders of.
Okay, so you guys, so what we could do is we can assign different people to reach out to the different leadership groups to see if they want to be part of this and want their name listed on the flyer. And we'll probably need to get those answers back by, I would say, in the next day or so. So who can reach out to which groups? So Paige, obviously you can do the garden club. Can you also do Tri-Am?
Yeah, I can do Tri-Am.
So Paige is reaching out to garden and Tri-Am. Any other groups that you guys are connected to at the high school? Do you know anyone in National Honor Society with the advisor? Okay, so I'll just look at the minutes and see if we can reach out to some of those other groups. All right, Nick and Madeline, are there groups at the Galvin that would be interested in getting involved, do you think?
I think the community service club at the Galvin would probably want to get involved. That just started up, and then we
Isn't
can
there a
probably
green club too?
I don't think that started yet. I think they've been announcing it, but I know the community service club would probably be involved in this because it is community service.
Who's the advisor to that? Is that Mr. Valancourt?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Nick, do you think you could reach out to him?
Yeah, I can start drafting an email right now.
Okay, so Nick's gonna reach out to, and Madeline, you already proposed to the Youth Action Team to see if they wanted to partner, and they said yes, correct?
Yeah, a lot of people raised their hands and said that they'd be willing to come and help out.
Okay, so we've got the Youth Action Team is a yes, the Galvin one. School. Okay. So the next thing is we'll need to get publicity out for this. So the first thing is probably creating a flyer that can both be printed and sent out digitally. Does anyone have an idea of who can do that?
I can probably do that. I've made some in the past.
Paige, you're a little hard to hear.
I think she said she'd be willing to do that if I'm not mistaken, because she's
Okay.
done it in the past.
Okay, so you can create that. So we have, I'll give you the Wakefield Youth Council logo page and the font that we use for town, some of the youth council stuff, but then we can also, and I'll send you an email with all the information that we decided upon here. What other information does Paige need for the flyer? So we know the locations. Can we just say show up to one of these locations? Is that what you want to say to youth? So they'll just show up. What about having kind of captains at each of the locations? So each of you are kind of leading the team. And maybe you could partner with another member of the youth council.
Well, yeah, that makes sense because there's 4 of us, and I think there's like 3 locations, but one of them is like really big. That could probably use 2.
Okay, that sounds good. And we can probably recruit members of the youth council to kind of be with you. So there's a team of 2 or 3 of you at each location. So you're not kind of, you're not all on your own. Okay, so Madeline and Nick, does it make sense for you both to be at the Galvin? Since that's okay.
Yeah.
And since there are fields and the courts, okay, so Madeline and Nick are there. Betts Field in Lower and Upper Common. Paige and Bella, do you have preference to which one you take? All right, Bella.
Wait, what?
So you would be the captain of either Betts Field or the Common, so the Lower and the Upper Common.
I don't care.
Okay. No.
Sure.
All right. So let's just say Bella, you're at Betts Field and Paige is at the Commons, and we'll pair you up with some other youth council members. Okay. So we know Paige is going to put together the digital flyer. So and we're going to wait to hear which groups are kind of helping out with it so we can make sure they're listed. Bella?
Another group at the high school that could be interested is the Black Student Union, because I know they've been wanting to do some community I'm a part of it, but we've been wanting to do some like community projects. And this would be the first one of the year, I believe. So I can email the president about that.
That would be great. That'd be a great group to have there. Okay, so everyone's there. Should we have for the flyer for Paige's information, should there be a start time and end time? Okay. And I was, we talked about bringing everyone together at the library, but do you feel like we'll kind of lose people that way? Should we just take a picture and have like a little something for people at the end at those locations?
Yeah, I think people can what if people could like drop off their bags if like when they leave, not because like some people won't stay for the whole time, but if you want to like show up like clean and stuff, and then if you want to go like just drop off your bags at the library, then we can count stuff. Or I don't know, I know that the library's been asking me a lot what they can do for the youth council, so
Okay,
but if not, that's fine.
We could always pick something else to do at the library. I mean, the library is a great spot, so it just might be hard to get you. And then when you talk about dropping off bags, can you remind us what you meant by that?
I think we had said like some sort of a raffle for people that clean up more. That's like what I was thinking of. But
What do people think of that? Do we want to have a raffle?
Well, I think that will work, and maybe we can have like every bag you drop off at at a certain location could be like one ticket in the raffle, and maybe we can get like a local business to like make like a basket or something, or maybe a few local businesses combined and make like a basket of the whoever gets drawn.
Okay, so everyone that participates gets entered in a raffle, and then
Well, as long as you bring one bag of trash to the library or wherever we decide to have like the raffle spot be, then you get a ticket. But to say you bring like 5 bags, you get 5 tickets.
Okay. What do people think about that? Could they just turn in so say you have, like we have, I could even set up tables at each of the station, each of the 3 places. Could they just bring their bag there and put in the raffle, and then you guys later on bring all the names together and enter and email that person that won?
Yeah, that would make more sense instead of adding another spot to have more people.
Okay. So do you think a raffle is necessary to get people to come? Does that, what would be
Well,
the
it depends
purpose of
because like
having a raffle?
some people would like want to do it just for like the common good or whatever, but other people, I don't know, like some, I don't know, like what age, like a lot, not maybe not a lot, everyone's gonna be interested, but I feel like a raffle could add more interest.
What do other people think? Madeline, Paige, Bella?
I don't know, like, I think it kind of depends on who will end up showing, like, coming. So,
I think that it's a fun idea, but it would kind of defeat the purpose of like doing a community service to the veterans. Like it's kind of like, oh, what if they're just coming to do a raffle, which I know isn't your intention at all. But I just feel that like on such an important day, it might be better to put more emphasis on why we're doing it and not because that there's like a reward at the end.
It's a good perspective, Bella. Any other thoughts on that? It is about, I do want to emphasize Bella's point, though. It is about service. It's not, this is something I'm discussing with my own kids, not thinking of what am I going to get out of it. But let's circle it back to Veterans Day. Maybe there could be something where the youth council presents, I don't know, just thinking about how could we further honor veterans. So then maybe there's a raffle drawing and the youth that wins gets, I don't know, something.
A way that we could incorporate a raffle and like giving back to the veterans is instead of like you bring a bag of trash and you get a raffle, like what if we just like it's a normal raffle, like you buy a ticket for like $1 or something, and then all proceeds go to like one of the veterans like shelters or like something that would go back to the veterans themselves.
Ooh, I have an idea along those ideas of what Bella said. What if, because youth might not want to bring $1, or they could, but what if every pound of trash we collect, we get an area business to donate that much money to a veterans, like a local veterans charity? What do people think about that? So I'm seeing some thumbs up, because that could be really cool, and we could do some interesting social media around that. And I could reach out to David to see what would be a good, because they do have a local fund here in Wakefield too. So I mean, the fact that would be in Paige, that would be good to put on the flyer too. So youth have more incentive to pick up trash and do things, because they know that every pound of trash collected will result in a donation. So does that sound like a plan? Okay. All right. But at the same time, we could think about thanking the people that are coming out to clean. If you come out to clean on Veterans Day, would you want like a treat, like should we have hot chocolate and munchkins there, or is there something that we should do to thank our volunteers? Madeline?
one of the actually first businesses that like came to mind with like local businesses was that new bakery, Canderella's. They're like, I know that they've been looking for a lot more ways like to get into the community. and stuff like that. So they might be willing to like give cupcakes or cookies or something. I know that they have a lot of like cute fall things right now, so they might be willing to do that or even donate.
Okay, oh, donate the, yeah, so we don't have to, Honeydew is pretty good about that too. So we could reach out to both of those. What, the Chamber of Commerce, their office is right next door to mine, so I could ask them, would you like me to ask them, one, for a business to donate to, and two, for a business that might be interested in sponsoring this initiative? Okay, so I will ask the chamber about that to get their thoughts. Nick, would you be able to reach out to the to Dan McGrath, the rec director, and tell him that we're doing this? And see if he has any other thoughts.
Yeah, I emailed him after the youth council meeting. I told him that we're planning this. He said he's willing to help in any way. I haven't had any. I don't think we've had any needs for him yet. But if we have anything, I can send him a quick email.
That's fabulous. Thank you for doing that already. Okay. So anything else that we need to be thinking about? So we have to kind of narrow down. So I'll talk to the chamber first thing in the morning. Should we have another quick follow-up meeting so we have all the logistics planned out? Okay, so I can work with Paige. So we all want to, if everyone can send any confirmations you get to me because of open meeting laws, and then I will send along to Paige so she can finalize the flyer, and then maybe we can have another meeting on Thursday because we do have to post it, so we can just do a quick meeting, and I know a lot of you have activities going on. Does that work, Madeline?
Thursday is the one day that I can't do. But could we do it like Wednesday night or something like that?
Okay, well, with open meeting, we have to post our meetings 72 hours ahead of time. So probably the earliest we could do is Thursday. What about evening time? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I could do it would be like late evening, like after like 6:30.
What are other people? I know some people are is band still going on? No, that's done. Nick, W?
Maybe we could do it tomorrow, next Monday after school. Because if we shoot for like a week from now, then maybe we could have like most of the things planned out. We just finalize everything quickly.
Well, I think we have to do it sooner because we want to give enough time to get the flyer out, and we'll probably need to come up with a plan of who's doing what to get the thing out. So I think probably sooner. So we could do it at Thursday at 7. Would that work for people?
I have work until 8 that night. Would Friday work at all?
Could we do when you get home from work at 8 or 8:30?
8 p.m. I get home at work.
Okay.
I mean, we could do that late. I just wasn't sure. Like, I mean, it's kind of late, so I didn't know if like it's a school night. You know what I mean? But that would work for me. I wasn't sure how anyone else would feel about it.
Does 8 work for the rest of you? I'm actually here at town hall, so with the youth action team, so I can pop out. Okay, so we're gonna aim for 8 o'clock, and Bella, you can jump on your phone if you're getting a ride back from 8 p.m. on Thursday. Okay, and hopefully we'll have the finished flyer by then, and hopefully it can be a quick meeting, like 10 minutes or so to do that. Anything else?
Do we know what time it's gonna end?
Ooh, good question. What time should it end?
Well, it gets dark at 4:30, right? Well, it will be getting dark at 4:30 after we flip back the time. So we should probably end it then. So because you don't want people working in the dark, because there's not lights at all the places we're at.
I mean,
Yeah, we
that's
could do
a-
it till like 4:15, somewhere around there.
I think that's a long time. I think an hour from doing these events before, I think an hour and a half is probably all you need. And then it gives people time to, socialize and be there and stuff. Because you wouldn't want it just to be an hour because it'd be over too quick. But an hour and a half. What do people think? Okay, so we're gonna go, so Paige, just for your notes, if you want to start working on something, it's gonna be from 2 to 3:30. Okay, and then that's it. Anything else? Anything else we want to consider? Okay, so next steps are just a reminder, we have Nick is going to be following up with the recreation director. Several of you, Nick is also reaching out to the community service club. And then Bella's reaching out to Black Student Union, and Paige is reaching out to Tri-M. And then you're both part of the garden club. Uma is on the environmental sustainability committee. Could someone reach out to Uma to see if they would want to be partnered? There's no Uma, our fellow youth council member. Okay, I can do that. I'll reach out to her. I think Nick's on it too. The other Nick. All right. Is there anything else?
Do you want the flyer to be like posted on social media and then like hung up around the schools?
Yeah, so that's the goal. So the flyer should be in a picture, be able to be put in a picture format. So it's good for Instagram and Twitter. And the other thing too that I found helpful with these things is that we post it in parent groups. Sometimes parents will see it and encourage their young people to go. So, and then we'll also want to provide an update to the rest of the youth council so we can communicate to Lauren. But I think we do that once Paige has finalized the flyer. So at that Thursday meeting and everything. And then I have my to-do list. I'm going to be reaching out to DPW. I'm going to be reaching out to the chamber. And I'm going to hopefully we should all hopefully have updates by Thursday on everything. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Do I have?
Did we finalize anything on food, or if we were going to do hot cocoa?
Well, we're going to first see if we can get it. Your idea was to see if we can get it donated. So we can see, that's why I was going to reach out to the chamber, see if they have any ideas of businesses and or honeydew. But yeah, I think the hot cocoa and cookies or something would be good, and waters. Does everyone agree with that? Okay. And so we'll also need tables at each place, gloves and sanitizers. We don't want people like picking up trash and then eating cookies at the same time. And if you think of anything else in the next couple of days, just shoot me a note and then we can go from there. Anything else before we adjourn? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Okay, so Bella first. Do you have a second?
I second.
All right, well, actually, I have to roll call. Are you in favor of adjourning? Bella?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Madeline?
Yes.
Paige?
Yes.
Okay, it's 3:39. The meeting is adjourned